Good morning. It's 9:06 a.m. January 18th, 2024 on a Thursday. A little bit late getting started because I was just on a support call with a client. Got my audio confirmed. Speaker bot is up and running. This client called about 10 minutes before showtime, and I was thinking, do I answer it? Not. I'm glad I did, because he was trying to get his Zoom meeting started to meet with his clients, and it was scheduled to start at 9 a.m. And he was a little bit panicked. Anyway, we had to get his, I talked him through getting back to a network switch that's behind his desk and trying to get him to check cables on it, and apparently just fussing around with it was enough to get it back online. So then I walked him through getting his Zoom session started because he was a little bit frazzled at that point. So we got all the way up to the point to where we got the meeting started and he could see his clients. Okay.
They know what time your live show starts.
Do they know? They know what time your live show starts. What in the world were they thinking, scheduling at the same time? Lawn Dog says, I would recommend taking all your business calls over, attending to the channel. We will be here, or we'll figure something out. You made the right decision this morning. Yeah, they will take priority. Now, sometimes, depending upon the client and their usual type of call, I might decide to get them later, but I've also had times where I'll go ahead and answer the call shortly before starting my live stream, and if it's not an emergency,
so
I'll
inconsiderate.
ask them if I can call them back. Inconsiderate. Yeah, they just want to throw money at me. They just want to give me work to do. How inconsiderate that is. All right. I do feel much better today. Thank you so much for those of you who are commenting on that. I'm going to get into... Now, I'm using studio mode today, and I've got some blurs set up. So something that's really nice about OBS is I can turn studio mode on and off so easily. So now it's off. Yeah, so I'm going to be a little bit careful about how I do this, because I'm going to be showing you a live client file that has information on it that I absolutely should not be showing, but I want to show the other problem symptom on this worksheet, and I just have to do it this way. I'm going to start off with acknowledging a email from Zvi Lenore, where, let's see, the subject line is not relevant. There's no email address exposed here. So here we go. It says, hi, Doug. I'm not an Excel user, but I have a friend that is super professional in Excel. So I asked him about the error after the floating point. I'm at this point not calling it an error. When I was first looking into this, I thought it was an error. He told me that this problem is well known. Absolutely correct. And the solution is to add into the formula the round function. I knew that solution would deal with the symptom, but I didn't understand that at that time it was a well-known, not a problem, but just a side effect of how computer programs store floating point numbers. And it's not just Excel. So I actually did use the round function to see that way, and he's just showing how the round function is done. Now, however, to make that change, there's about 550 sub-sheets and the primary sheet. So that would have been very, very cumbersome way of doing it, and what was much better was the technique that I showed yesterday, where there's an option in Excel to display as, what do they call it? Or let's see, I'm going back over here. I can't show you this right now because I need to be careful about the blurs. It was called Oh, let's see. Oh, that's why I can't show that yet. Set precision as displayed. So that's a highly intuitive wording, right? Set precision as displayed. So it's treating the numbers then as though they actually have the values according to the way that I have them displayed with the formatting that is currently active. Now, is there anything else I want to cover before I get into showing you the next symptom? I'm looking, checking. And thank you, Zavi, for the time that you spent on that. And thank you, Martin Hogg, for the time you spent on it. And was it, am I thinking the right name? Greg? Greg M. One of the clips of the network cables broke off. Greg M is speculating that could be. We didn't get far enough to figure out because he had his meeting to get to. I've only kind of spotted once in a while a chat message. So let's see. In comments, we already went through this one yesterday and have dealt with that part of the issue on this spreadsheet. I'm keeping this one looks like a legitimate user to me, but he's not asking approval for the chat room. So I'm just going to thumbs up and heart, and I'm not going to make this one approved for comments yet because I'm a little suspicious, mostly about these two. These two that made comments are also on prior videos, and these came in during a live stream, but they're both user, and one of these was just created on that same day. And the way these seems it just feels like my troll. So I'm just going to leave those sit there for a while. Okay, that's all I'm going to do there. Then where I want to go. I'm going to go take a look at the chat room, and I'm being extra careful because as I flip my mouse over something, a little pop-up might come up occasionally exposing information I don't want to expose. So I am being extra careful. I'm going to go look at chat. Now I don't have any redirects. I haven't even had time to look for redirects. So if there's any shows that I should redirect to, please let me know in chat. Brian Lightfoot, there are two classes of travel, those who go first class and those who go with children. Dennis can't watch until his internet better. He did get to play with us this morning, but he was having some internet troubles. John Williams, good morning. Hope you're feeling better. Yes, I am. Thank you. Alice, hello. She was also watching this morning on Fortnite. Cold, nice day. Hot tea. We are ready from Zvi, Ran, Israel, Mike Wojcik. Martin didn't like the music, but enjoyed seeing Doug learning to fly. It's probably a reference to my Beat Saber gameplay. I don't, was it the one, Don't Get Mad at Me? Is that what that song was? I don't remember. Seldom Ball with the weather report. Sin Vicious, hello. Jim says, I'm late. Doug's late. Not a good sign. Sin Vicious, IKR. I don't know what that means. I'm not one of the cool kids. Hopefully busy with the client. Yeah. Support call. Thanks for the heads up. Damn pesky clients always getting in the way. Good to know you're feeling a wee bit better. I'm 100%. But I'm still, the desk was still in the down position, so I figured I'll sit for another day. Someone here buying expensive chips. TSM is up 8%. On Dog, I would recommend, yeah, I read that already. Ken has a premiere at 10 a.m. Thank you. Oh, yes, I remember on his show last night, he said he was going to have a premiere. Take that off. Let's see. Oh, good. At that point, I was not exposing something. When I do the Alt-Tab and it shows all my panels, just occurred to me that that might expose something, but no, it didn't. Good. Forgot why I was switching over here. Oh, Ken's Premiere. Duh. All right, we can show this. Go into Edit, Customization. Oh, it's, yeah, Trader, don't get angry with me. That's what it was. Ken Stout Live. He pronounced it Ken Stout Live. He's wrong. It's Ken Stout Live. Okay, Doug. Dennis is here. Richard Rogers, hello. It appears our names are blurred on that popped out chat. Oh, yes, they are. Okay. That's part of me getting used to this. Oh, let's see here. So yeah, because I set up my blurs. I've told you a few times that I haven't set up the blurs yet, and that's why I couldn't show you the spreadsheet. So this morning, between Fortnite and that client service call, I got the blurs set up, and I'd have to remember to turn them on and off. I don't have them on my Stream Deck yet. So yeah, I wasn't blurring the chat window on purpose, but the blurs were there on purpose for the spreadsheet issue that I'm going to show you in a moment. Alice, on Epic Games this week, they just came out. A very old school game is free. Lawn Dog, I saw something about the acknowledgement of the latest kerfuffle from Microsoft in that last major update. They're acknowledging the problem and saying they are working on the problem. Fix will come. Fix will come to a theater near you. So now, I'm going to turn studio mode on so I see two panels. I can get the preview panel set up for this spreadsheet. And if I press my Stream Deck button to display that, it comes up on the preview screen, not on the broadcast screen. Yeah, so there it's on the preview screen, and I have a full screen preview over here so I can see the blurs. I'm going to turn the blurs back on and verify that everything is blurred. Okay, and then that looks like it's ready to show you. Here we go. Let's see, just before I switch over, I'm going to check on, let's see, so stop filling with your partition, stop. Okay, I saw Lawn Dog's last comment. So now here's a cut. Yeah, okay, that's right. I'm not going to move this around. I'm not going to manipulate the spreadsheet, but up at the top, I can move the mouse around. We got this yellow banner up here, protected view. Be careful, files from the internet contain viruses. I have an enable editing button. I have not enabled editing on this spreadsheet since the email attachment. Now, I have done it on other copies, but this is a fresh copy from the email that has not yet had an editing enabled. And this is where we're going to demonstrate the symptom where she reported that when she inserts a row, the total at the bottom, this column has a total at the bottom. I'm not going to scroll down there right now to show you it. I will in a moment. But the total changes, and that's what threw her for a loop. And then when I started working on it, I found that the problem is that this number was changing, this number right here. Now that number is not blurred out. You can see that number. Then I'm going to take that off screen. I'm going to move it down to the bottom. And position this right. I have to not be all the way to the bottom because that exposes something that I don't want to expose. Okay, the preview screen, everything confirmed. I'm going to bring that back over. Ooh, let's try it with a transition. that do? Yeah. Hit a transition button. Okay. It's just a dissolve transition. So now you see the number at the bottom, 93,083. She was certain that that was the correct number because that number matches the number that QuickBooks is reporting to her. So when she inserts a row and the total changes, that's totally unacceptable to her back then because this is the correct number according to her back then. John Williams, Tehran, Israel. It's not blurry here. Are you telling me that what I just displayed was not blurry? Are you telling me things were not blurred out? Or were you chit-chatting between John and Rand? Oh, you're talking about the chat window. Okay. But I'm sure that I've got this spreadsheet blurred properly. Man, you scared me. The names were blurred out. Thank you, Long Dog. Jeez. You totally freaked me out there. All right, I'm bringing it back on screen. So when she would insert a row and the numbers would go different, that totally was unacceptable to her because it was flat out wrong. But as I worked with her for a while, we discovered that no, this number is not correct, and the QuickBooks number is not correct because there is a $1,500 error somehow in QuickBooks. We didn't find that yet, and we know that there's a transaction from in January of 2024, and I'm going to show you that transaction here in a moment. Now, let me point out there's 544 rows. That means 544 clients. Now, actually, the first few rows don't have a client, so it's probably about 540. And that means these tabs across the bottom, and I'm not going to move my mouse over them because that might pop up a little bubble that shows the names. So there's 540 of those across the bottom. Now, she was using a find function in order to get to those. She didn't know how to navigate to them. The arrows that are below my mouse on this left-hand side, you can't see them, but they're below the mouse. Again, I'm not going to highlight them. When you right-click over them, it shows the whole list of the sheets, and it's much easier to go to a sheet using that technique. So as we were working together, she saw me do that once, and she said, wait, what did you do there? How did you do that? Because she needed to know how to do that. But she's dealing with these 540 sub sheets. So when this number was wrong, that's 540. She had no idea which one of those clients was changing, if they were at all. She didn't know why this number was changing at all. Okay, now I'm going to take that off screen. Transition back. And then I'm going to maneuver out to the client subsheet. Uh-oh. What did I do there? I did Control F, and I was actually active on a different screen. Somehow that made a change in OBS that I don't want. What does Control F do in OBS? Because my Control F didn't work on Excel, it worked on OBS. I'm going to check. Where do I get to see keyboard shortcuts? I'm looking in OBS, looking for keyboard shortcuts. No, it's not it. Settings. Going into settings. Hotkeys. Filter by hotkey. So if I click in this filter by hotkey, Control F, it's not taking me to anything. From what I'm seeing, Control F, or there are no hotkeys assigned. I'm understanding that right. Hotkeys. Okay, let me show you what it did. I think I can show you what it did, and maybe somebody knows what happened here in OBS. When I did a Control F, it gave me a duplicate. It kind of cut the screen in half and is showing me two images of the spreadsheet. That's not in Excel. That's in OBS, because Excel over here still shows correctly. But what happened? Oh, let me try this. Did it? My blurs. Oh, I see what it did. Oh, it made one of my blurs go full screen. That's what it did.
Google says Control F in OBS is fit to screen.
Yeah, fit to screen. And that's the same thing Control F is in XSplit. So, and that was what I was first thinking, but what I didn't realize is that it did fit to screen for one of my blurs. So I need to figure out which blur this is. Oh, I see what it is. And that, since that blurred the entire screen, that did not reveal or what did it? Okay, that there. Okay, fit this screen. How did it do that? Okay, monitor one. It's got to be that one, and that's blurring that. That's blurring that. So this has to be blurring down here. And it's not moving. What am I going to do? Yes, Control F is definitely fit to screen, and that is what happened. Now, when I'm trying to move that back, it is not wanting, it's simply not moving. Let's see, I can move the whole. Okay, now where's the blur? Oh, I know what it did. I know what it did. Yes. Control Z, and then did it put it? Okay, do this. Ay, caramba, really? Or two. Let's do this. Well, this is fun, kiddies. Not. I'm sticking to what I told you about being careful. So if you've got to put up with a little delay here, get over it. Okay, that's good. Then do this. Then do this. Then do that. I'm recreating the blur. I'm recreating this blur from scratch. There. Almost done. There. Now, make sure I've got all the proper blurs on. I do. Looking at the preview screen, that's blurred, that's blurred, that's blurred. There. Okay, so I was about to take you to that client's subsheet, and I use Control F in Excel to use the find function to get there. Now, because there's 540 sheets, you actually see it flipping through all of those, trying to find this client's sheet. And I have to close the find function because that exposes the client's name. Here we go. Bringing it back with a transition. Okay, so here's this client sheet. We got the client's name up here. We got dates of payments. We've got deposits that were made. We got draws that were made. We got a refund column. Now, I'm not displaying the dates and amounts, not because those need to be hidden, but because that whole left panel is blurred for use on the summary sheet. Now, these numbers here, you see that
Doug,
these numbers have
you have
been
a flashing
changing.
red lights on, Big Beast. Did you call the police? Ha!
Yeah. They said we're not interested. This number, 484705, that's the number that we saw on that client's row on the summary sheet. The correct number for this client is 6,347. So what was happening is my client, the bookkeeper for this law firm, had entered this January payment for this client some days prior, and then she came back to add a new client in. When she went to that summary page, she went to insert a blank row so she could type in the new client's name. As soon as she inserted the new row, the total at the bottom changed. Now, she didn't realize that right away because when she scrolled to the point alphabetically where she wants that new client, she can't see the total at the bottom. So she inserted the new row, put the new client in, and then later discovered numbers aren't right. And that starts to get a person kind of panicked. So she traces it for a while, tries to figure it out. By the time she calls me, she's very frustrated. So now I'm going to show you the symptom in play. I need for you to understand that she put in this deposit entry for this client some number of days prior. I don't know how many days, not many. And then she went on another day to insert this new client. At that time, that summary page had not yet recalculated to show her the correct numbers, which she was going to interpret as being wrong because they then would not match QuickBooks. Now, I'm going to click on the Excel spreadsheet and then Control F and then go find the next occurrence of that client's name, which is going to be on the summary sheet. And there it finally got there. And then I'll bring that back on display for you. Okay, now here, if anyone's going to, like Zavi Manor has a friend, if you want to show this to this friend, this would be the place to clip. You could clip just a very short piece here. What happens is when I enable editing, you will see this number change. So for her, she had to insert a new blank row before this number would change. But once it was sent to me, when I enable editing, this will change right away because my Excel will calculate the whole sheet. I don't see any reason why her Excel wasn't calculating this number. It always has. as far as we know. So now when I click enable editing there, I'm wondering if there's anything that's going to be exposed. Is there anything that's going to jump around and be unhidden? Okay, here's the way I'll do that. I'm going to bring in, do I need to do that though? I don't want to take this off screen because I want you to see it change in front of your eyes. But I haven't tested this. Is there any way this sheet might? No, it won't. It won't move anywhere. I'll click enable editing. This yellow bar will go away. Oh, this piece might go up. This piece right here where it has her name, that might go up higher. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna change that. Bring it back over here where I can work on it. And I'm going to get to the blur that deals with the name. And I'm going to make that bigger. I'm just going to make that blur area bigger. That should cover it. Notice now there's more stuff blurred at the top. You have some blurred column headings and you have this yellow area blurred. Okay, but this number 4847 is not blurred. No, sliding the window isn't going to do it for me. Montag. Okay, here we go. Watch that number 4847. Okay, click once. That got that Excel active. Click again. There's the new number. That's the question. Explain how this spreadsheet didn't already have the calculated numbers showing in this field before the spreadsheet was sent to me as an attachment. On her computer, over and over and over, it's when she inserts a new row, that number changes. And we tried recalculate sheet, and that did not change the number. Recalculate workbook, it's called. Where is that at? I don't remember where it's at, but I'm already over time, so I'm not going to try to demonstrate to you that to you. Is Excel set to recalc automatically? Yes, for both of our computers. Now I'll take that off screen and then let's see, get to a safe place where I can see if I go even to the file menu that exposes content. Let's see if I do. All right, I'm trying to arrange this here and to see where does recalc, automatic recalc for Excel, because I know it's set up on both of us because we would make changes and numbers would change instantly. Everywhere else, they would change instantly. Yeah, I'm too distracted right now to find it. So I'm just going to go ahead and shut down here. That's what we got. I think I haven't quite kept up with everything. Greg M, Excel set to recalc automatically. Yeah, now actually I could prove that. Yeah, here's a way I could prove that, right? Recalc automatically. Yeah, I'm not sure if that'll prove it. I'm confident it is set to automatic. Can you really pursue it if you haven't seen that? Recalc. How could I demonstrate that? Okay, I'm going to bring that back on screen. If I just go put in a new formula over here, an area where you can see, since it's no longer protected. So
I think Carrie has a live show.
Carrie, this isn't Friday. Carrie has a live show. He wouldn't be starting for a couple hours, so I'm going to be redirecting to Ken's show. Okay, so if you do 2 and 2 and put in equal sum, do those 2 cells. Now if I put a 3 here, it instantly recalcs. Is that enough to say that automatic calculation is on? Change formula recalculation, iteration, or precision in Excel. Let's go look at that from Greg. Transition that back out. Turn studio mode off so I'm back into an area that I'm comfortable with or know it better. Let's see, and actually minimize the spreadsheet so I don't accidentally display it. Change formula recalculation, iteration, or precision in Excel. Greg M. Lawn Dog, this is where you always get the best findings. This is what you're created for. Okay. And I'm going to take that off. Here we go. Then I need to turn off the blurs. And now I have to remember that I've got the blurs turned off. Do not bring that spreadsheet back up. Change formula recalculation, iteration, or precision in Excel. Change when it recalculates. Recalculate manually using keyboard shortcuts. I was looking for a keyboard short. Yeah, F9. I was why I knew. Yeah, I was doing F9. Yeah, yeah, we would do F9 on. Yeah, I had her press F9, and when I was remotely connected to her computer, I pressed F9, and that number would not change. And where does it tell us about automatic recalc? The precision. Well, it's not precision, it's calculations. I know Excel can do calculation on row or column order. I assume that is still the case years later. Yeah, I believe so. I'm hard-pressed to imagine how that could be the problem, because even if that was the problem for the first round of calculation, the next round should take care of it. Now, I was also suspicious about... Now, see, I showed you that sub worksheet. It already had the correct calculation. On that summary sheet, when we press F9 Calc, it was not changing on her computer. So then we also went to the Excel has a... I'm gonna open a new workbook to show this. Okay, I still have blurs turned off. So here's a new worksheet. There is a place, there's a button along here somewhere for recalc. And I used that button, and that did not change it. That worksheet, that's something that ought to be here. Some clear format. It was, the wording was a little bit weird. Formulas. Calculate now. Yeah. Calculate now, calculate sheet. Here's calculation options, automatic except for data tables, manual. So I will check her computer to be sure that's set on automatic. And I will go, now that I've come to a better level of understanding, you know, since I understand that those to the right of the decimal point, that is normal and okay. I'll turn on that function or that option to store as displayed or precision as displayed, whatever that is. I'll turn that on. All that's going to do is that's going to get rid of the parentheses for us. And I'll verify the symptom is still there. I'll make sure the automatic is on, and I'll double check this calculate now. And I can do recordings. I can record that and then blur out things so I can actually show it to you on her computer. That'll be good. We'll do that. We'll do that. Okay, now I'm done. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for hanging out.